And yes, we are welcome Espresso Sesh Tuesday, February 4th, 5th episode of the 5th season. High five to Ciara McAllister. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Nino.
You're welcome.
It's great to be here.
It's great to have you here. So we just started the show with your latest single, Fairy Tale.
Yes.
And we're going to go through your music path, your recent position like in the music industry as a songwriter, singer, because you've been there, and we're going to go through that for a long time, no? As a pianist, as a music teacher, but this is a new chapter in your life, so we are pretty excited about it.
Yes.
And also pretty excited to kind of present it here, no? So,
Thank you.
And there's a piano here.
There is.
You're gonna perform live some tunes.
Yep.
We're gonna talk about the upcoming release that is gonna be called To Shimmering Light.
Correct.
That is gonna be out later on this year.
Yes.
You've been putting out some singles. The first single. Is the one we listen to right now, Fairy Tale.
Yes.
With this as a cinematic feel, no? Like it's very can be like a soundtrack of a movie.
Yes.
There is a great orchestration part in
Yes.
it, and it's made with the real strings.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
And there is this. I think there is one like leitmotiv in the whole work, no?
Mm-hmm.
About like To Shimmering Light. So it's like a work of hope coming from. What I read, no?
Yeah.
Coming from, you had a band before.
Yes.
That started like in a few years ago, no?
Yeah.
Talking about like 5 years ago.
About 5
something.
years ago, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you guys released an album in January, and the band broke up in June. No?
Correct.
So like the
Classic.
2J
Classic.
didn't get along. It's something classic. That
Yes.
happens often. No,
It does.
It
does.
But there was a reason for you to step out your comfort zone as a pianist.
Yes,
no?
yes.
Because you have a long experience and as a performer, pianist, and music teacher.
Yes.
And step out of this comfort zone and adventure in another
Yes.
place. No, that is more risky, and where you kind of like put yourself out there, your face like in front, no?
Right.
So it takes courage, and also takes a message, no? Probably I think was the message the main reason for you
Yes.
to start this path.
Right.
But I want to hear from you.
That was great. Nino, you're inside my head.
Inside your head, yes. Yes.
Yeah, so I've been playing since I was 6 years old, and started writing when I was in college, and really fell in love with writing. Started playing in a band, right after college, and I started writing really more seriously at that time. But I still was not really singing, just doing some backup vocals, not a ton of singing. And then the band that you just referenced that I was in here in San Francisco, there was a female singer, and I was a prominent songwriter in the band as well as many members of the band. It was very collaborative. So I was always kind of writing with her voice in mind, which was a great pleasure because she's a wonderful singer. So when the band broke up, I just found myself kind of at the piano, sort of still writing, and also definitely processing the breakup of the band, not really knowing who I was writing for necessarily. And then slowly over time, I came to discover that I was writing for myself. And through the heartbreak of the band breaking up, I really felt that was going to be sort of my future. So when that fell apart, my whole vision idea of what my life was going to look like sort of fell apart as well. So kind of in the emptiness of that space is where I started to write what is now To Shimmering Light. And the whole album is essentially about losing complete hope and confidence in yourself, having sort of all these questions, having all these unanswered questions, and then just sort of digging through the muck and the mire and the darkness of that, where you can't really see what's ahead, but you kind of just keep going. And then eventually you see a little crack of light, and you follow that, and then over time you keep following that and you following that, and that, you know, and that really happened to me. I was in a swimming pool and I was looked up and there was a skylight and there was this like shimmering light sort of dancing on the water and I was underneath looking that, and that was a really important moment for me. That's when I named the album, and one of the tracks on the album is called Shimmering Light. And you know, I just continued to follow that light, and slowly, about halfway through the album, you can kind of hear a lot of that questioning turn to hope and belief again. And then, yeah, it's like slowly I emerged as the artist for the project that I didn't know that was going to be the case initially. So that's what the album is about. And I feel like there is a cinematic quality in just as the story is being told. I feel that, you know, you can hear that both in the lyrics and in the orchestration and the arrangements.
Yeah, we gotta say that it's very noble to you to think about the album. No, these days
Yes.
people think about singles,
Yes.
and you know, there is a lack of concentration
Yes.
going around, and like the concept album probably is something that, I mean, probably we are the same around age, no?
Yes.
And it was something that probably we grew up listening to. No, there's
Yeah.
something that is missing these days.
Mhm.
So it's good for you that you go for it, no, for a concept album,
Yeah.
to tell a story and you know, unfold it within songs, no?
Yeah, I love an album. I still just love an album. And even putting this together, you know, certainly the trend now is just release a single and then release a single. And I'm going to release singles because that's a good strategy.
Yeah.
But to me, it is part of the whole story.
Your
And
story.
sometimes when they come out of order, out of context, even, that feels a little jolting as an artist, because you want, you know, really, like, the listener needs to hear it in the order that the story is being told. But it, you know, I think obviously the goal is that each song can stand on its own as well as complete the full story of the album. So that's sort of the hope.
Yeah, that took you a long time in probably in writing it, but
Yeah.
also in producing it, no?
Mhm.
Like you were recording in Tiny Telephone, Oakland and San Francisco. San Francisco Tiny Telephone is not going to be there no more after July. There
Sad.
is
Sad
another
story.
sad. And Bo Sorenson was the engineer behind it, no?
Yes.
And you call like many musicians to record the parts,
Yep.
and you know, you had with the vision in mind, no?
Yeah, initially I went in to record just 4 tracks with Bo Sorensen, who is fabulous and has helped many an artist kind of bring their vision to life. And I kind of brought in a band and just started with these 4 tracks. Fairy Tale was one of the first tracks that I recorded. I actually wasn't planning on recording a full album, but the first session went so well, and Bo definitely understood my vision and helped to bring it to life. And so as I continued writing, I just, you know, I would set up a session and do 4 more tracks, and then before I knew it, I was, you know, rounding the corner to having a full album. So I recorded it. It took about a year, all in all, to record the album, and I was writing it for probably 3 to 4 years. So the writing was pretty long process.
Yeah, you know, people sometimes, I mean, we love music, but we don't see sometimes there is a long
Yes,
process
yes,
to make it, no?
very long.
And, you know, the formula, the let's say the sonic palette that you use is more like traditional songwriting, no?
Yes.
It's not folk, it's not like rock classic. Because, you know, there is a lot of analog instruments. No, we got guitars, of course, the piano, strings, drum. But, you know, it's more like in the conventional songwriting, like formula, no?
Yeah. As Bo actually said the first time he heard my songs, he said, "Oh, those are songs with a capital S." And so I think they do follow, you know, traditional song format. They are a little bit more traditional in that sense. And that's something that has been part of my influence, and some of the greatest songwriters that I really admire, you know, tend to write in that format. It's not necessarily what's happening right now in a lot of mainstream music. But to me, at this stage in my journey, it was really important for me to learn how to develop a song in that format. I can tell already I'm curious to reach into other kind of realms of songwriting from here on out now that I was able to get this out. But I think that was a really important step for me. And there are a couple tracks on the album that dabble in some electronic. So it was important to me to try to bring in some other elements, not just all analog instruments, which actually I think the track we're going to share later, you can hear a little bit of that. So it was something that I wanted to try to incorporate in a way that was still cohesive to the tracks that were just all analog instruments. And so I'm happy with that kind of first step for me into the world of bringing in some other elements as well as keeping that traditional song format.
Like probably in the format also like the musical or like the Broadway a little bit. No, there is like the songwriting classic that we mentioned, but also that. And like probably like Bo and Remark, like you said, no?
Yeah.
A song with a capital S.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, they say you learn the rule and then you break
exactly.
them. No?
Yep.
So it's good to in order to like do whatever you want, just to be able to control like the the standard things, no, the rules and
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Glad that you came here to present the album. No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very happy to be
Very
here.
happy to be here with the piano as well.
With the piano.
What shall we do? Let's play another song from the album.
From the album?
You wanna announce your next single?
Sure.
When it's gonna be?
Yeah, great.
And then we set up for the live. Okay.
Perfect.
In the meanwhile, we are listening to Espresso Sesh on Best Frequencies Forever every Tuesday 2 to 4 p.m. We are here in the studio with Ciara McAllister presenting her last single, Fairy Tale, and the upcoming album to Shimmering Lights.
Yes.
So we played the following single, no? That is going to be...
Yes.
You want to introduce it?
Sure.
Real quick, please, for us.
So this next single is called Off the Hook. And this... I'm going to be releasing...
I don't have this.
You don't have it.
All right, yeah,
yes.
it's a technical issue, but we're going to
unreleased, which
it's
means
unreleased,
you don't have it. No one has it.
It's not even on the press kit.
No one has it.
How should I know about it? Give me 1 second, I'll get the
Okay, I'll keep talking while we pull it up.
Yeah, you can present it. You can definitely present them.
So yeah, this song's called Off the Hook, and I'm going to be releasing this as my second single in about a month, so March 6th, this is going to be coming out. Quick plug, if you head to my website and you sign up for my newsletter, you will get an early download of this track. So if you like it, feel free to do that. And this is one of the tracks that I was experimenting with the help of Bo on some electronics and just some soundscapes that, again, like you said, I really just was very drawn to like water and light in the whole album. So this track kind of brings in some electronic and sort of that soundscape that to me just it's like blue and light and watery and yeah, I'm excited about this track.
Yeah, I guess you like the color blue.
I do.
Yes. All right.
You got me.
Let's listen to Off the Hook, Ciara McAllister, BFF.fm.
I heard you're leaving home, tied Imagine my surprise when I heard the news. You found a new muse, my boat capsized. And what can I say? Back in that old sea, we shared hopes and dreams, and that's not to throw away. But I thought there were without saying. But you never promised that you would be honest. Yeah, you played by the rules. Never got in too deep, your trapdoor at your feet. You went by the book. Guess you're off the hook. Yeah, you never promised that you would be honest. And I asked you to stay strong or hold on, you just used to. I'm sure you assumed I'd be fine, that I had no need for your decency, but I've got my fragile side. Thought you knew about my fragile side. But you never promised that you would be honest. Yeah, you played by the rules. Never got in too deep, your trapdoor at your feet. You went by the book. I guess you're off the hook.
And this was a preview, like off the hook.
Oh,
Yes.
the preview.
Preview. Like a premiere. A premiere, let's say like this. You know, you're back here listening. BFF.fm. There was Ciara McAllister. Off the hook from the upcoming album to Shimmering Lights. Ciara, you are. I mean, it's natural for me to call you Ciara. You know,
Yes.
it's okay. It's
And
the
you-
Italian. The Italian. I'm an Italian accent.
I
What
was
should I
wondering-
do with that?
I
You
was-
know.
I was
I
wondering.
was trying to play like with a British one, but no. Keep my Italian. So, you came from a long. We say it again. No? We came from a long experience as a pianist and a music teacher. McAllister Music Studio. It's been. It's not a plug here, but you know, like it's something very related to music. No, I mean, it's a school, music school with 2 locations in San Francisco. No?
Yes.
Started in the Lower 8,
Lower 8.
the original one, and they opened in the Mission. Really, like you know, on a very familiar street, 22nd Street. You know,
Yeah.
22nd in between Valencia and Mission. So can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
So it's me. You're please. There is a. We got a mic for you. All right.
Sorry.
Yeah. You're the guest of the show. We're gonna listen for you. We're gonna hear
Gotta
your voice.
I'll hold my mic.
All right. Oh, the mic. Yeah. Hey, we got a tiny studio here, no? And we try to get the
cozy.
best out of it. It's cozy.
Very
It's
cozy.
nice.
Awesome.
It's feel very safe. It's inside the submarine, you know.
Very safe.
Outside
Yeah.
is a shipwreck, but inside it's very safe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Very creative place. Heads off the designer of
Yes.
this beautiful secret alley location where we at. So, how long has been the McAllister Music Studio around?
I say usually about 10 years.
10 years.
It's, yeah.
Okay.
It's sort of evolved over the years, but about 10 years is where we made it official, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is your job, no? The music studio is your job, and you came around 15 years ago in San Francisco, no?
15 years, yeah.
Yeah, I was reading your bio. You said that it was a safe. You came from the East Coast, from
Originally
Delaware, no?
From Delaware, yes.
Yeah, and you arrived.
Shout out to Delaware.
Shout out to Delaware. I actually have been there on the train.
You
yeah.
have? Wow.
Yeah,
Impressive.
I took the Crescent train all the way to
Cool.
New Orleans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, it's another story.
That is.
But you know, you came here with your car and with your cat
Yes.
and your piano, no, or your
Correct.
keyboard.
Yep.
Not the opera, not the grand piano, but probably was
No.
was something like this.
Yeah,
huh?
something like this. Yep.
And you felt I remember like reading your bio, no? The acceptance and the safeness. It was safe for you, a safe place for you, and was a creative place for you, San Francisco,
Yes.
15 years ago, no?
Yes. I think that's definitely what drew me here is the feeling of acceptance and art and of course creativity, but just that, you can be whoever you want to be here. And I think that still stands true for San Francisco, even though it's changed a lot over the years, but I think that is the heartbeat of San Francisco, and that's definitely what drew me here.
Yeah, and I mean, we can say even after all this year, there is still acceptance.
Yes.
Even though now the standards are a little higher to be accepted, but like there's,
Yes.
it's still
It's definitely different, but that's still here.
yeah, it's still here and still rocking it and still calling this place home, no? And thriving and working for this place, for the community.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Check it out, the music, McAllister Music Studio, MMS.
MMS,
Yeah,
yes.
if you need some piano,
voice, songwriting, recording,
all these things that we should do more,
Yes.
all the good things.
Yeah.
So this piano is sitting here. I can hold the mic for you.
Okay.
Would you like to perform something? You want to do something to warm up first? Yeah, here is the key.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Ciara McAllister here on live BFF.fm. Okay. So I can hold
You're
this
gonna hold
guy
this for me?
for
Okay.
you.
Right.
Okay. What are you gonna sing for us?
So this song is called Just Hang On.
Okay.
And I wrote this song as actually it was sort of a song that came to me when a couple people in my life were really struggling, going through a difficult time. And I wrote it as just sort of a song of encouragement. And like a lot of songs, it's being written for someone else, and then you realize you're writing it for yourself, and, you're writing it for multiple people, or maybe you're writing it for everyone. But it's just a song about hanging on.
Or
in the
probably,
dark times.
like probably you're writing for to whom it might concern. I mean, like we'll get the message, no? Because you are sending out like a message, no?
Yes.
Like a message in a bottle, a message in a song, and
Yes.
some people like receive it, some other not. So
Yes. And that's sort of what I hope for, and what I kind of put out when I share my music is just that it will go right to the hearts of the people that need to hear that. Because I know how many times songs have really rescued me, encouraged me, inspired me. I think, songs are so powerful. So that's what this song is about. Just hang on.
just hang on. Ciara McAllister, live, BFF.fm.
I saw you take that deep sigh when you thought no one was looking. I heard the fear in your voice when you were trying to sound heroic. And every night I know you're waking up, ain't no drug that's strong enough. And I heard you saying life is raging, and I know you mean it. But just hang on, just hang on. Some days you'll walk, some days you'll crawl. No, I will never let you fall. So just hang on, just hang on. When you're in your darkest day, just know that the light's about to break. So just hang on. Unanswered questions fill the silence with their loaded gun. And each small happiness gets cornered by this loaded gun. But I'll be here when the sun So just hang on, just hang on. Some days you'll walk, some days you'll crawl. No, I will never let you fall. So just hang on, just hang on. When you're in your darkest day, just know that the light's about to break. So just hang on. So just hang on, just hang on. Some days you'll walk, some days you'll crawl. No, I will never let you fall. So just hang on, just hang on. When you're in your darkest day, just know that the light's about to break. So just hang on.
Woo! Ciara McAllister live, BFF.fm, just hang on.
Thank you.
That was nice.
Thank you so much.
Nice intimate moment, just the piano and voice.
Yes.
In an intimate studio, you know, like nice. Feels good, feels good.
Yes.
So from a pianist point of view,
Yeah.
going to the singer point of view,
Yeah.
it's like a jump, no?
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, you kind of like being behind the keys, it's kind of like a protective area, like a safe zone. You are like, you got this
Mm-hmm.
like shield in front of you, no? And
Yes.
then like when you sing,
Mm-hmm.
even if you have a piano that's protecting you, but you are like going out there, no?
Yeah.
So no shields, no filters, like go
Yes.
for it, no?
Yeah. It's been quite a journey with singing for me, starting from when I was very young. And I've always admired singers. I've always wanted to sing. It's been certainly something that has been more challenging for me than for just playing piano. I took to the piano very early in life, and I sort of fell in love with it, and it was always something that I was drawn to and had early success with. And so dabbled in vocals my whole life, but yeah, definitely hid behind the piano, definitely hid behind other singers. And this has been just a real leap of faith for me, and I've had support of some wonderful vocal coaches here in San Francisco, Heather Pierce, Lizzie Clapper, and also just tons of encouragement from friends and other artists. But I've worked really hard on vocals, and also just I've had to work through a lot of my own insecurities and vulnerabilities around stepping into the role of being a singer and really embodying that. And it's been quite a journey. And again, it's just something that I just believe, you know, when you're called to do something, you have to keep chasing it no matter what. It doesn't matter what the hardships are, you know,
Yeah.
you got to go, and you have to put yourself out there, and you have to be okay with failing and not being great. And because if it's in your heart and, it's calling
it's
you.
learning, you know, like
Yeah.
we all, if we can stand up after failing, it's all good, because
Yeah.
we learn how to don't fail the same way again. No?
Yes.
Maybe we fail another way, but we learn from that. No, it's part of the deal.
Yes.
And also, you know, it takes a lot of courage
Mm-hmm.
for you to step out, like sing, put your face, like put your name on it, and also, you know, like put it out, the whole thing. No, like, you know, work for it, having a vision, and like, you know, work for the vision to make it more than a vision, like you realize, make a real thing.
Real,
no?
yeah. Yeah, and I think that's something that, like you said earlier, a lot of people that are just, you know, sort of consumers of music don't really have a sense of what happens on this side of it, just and for how long, we kind of prepare this type of thing and then we come out publicly. And it's funny because I find that sometimes we can be so critical of artists that are on stage, and it's always like, to me, it's just like, oh my gosh, the amount that they went through to get themselves to that space, it's so tremendously courageous that I think, even when they trip and fall on the stage, it's like a beautiful moment because they're up there and they're allowing themselves to be in a place where they can trip publicly. And yeah, it's definitely a scary thing. And I think, part of the process of writing an album, and I think it's, it's probably like being like a pregnancy. It's good that it takes a certain amount of time because not only are you preparing the music and all of that, but you're preparing yourself to be able to go out and present the music, present the album. And yeah, it's a lot, but I feel like that process kind of helps get you ready.
Yeah, also, not improves you, but change you, like, not necessarily improves you, but change you, like, in your overall life, no?
Absolutely.
Yeah, not just your
so many ways.
Life.
Yeah.
You've been performing, like, recently, some Hotel Utah, something. Yeah, Hotel Utah, no?
Yeah,
your songs and other places.
Yeah, I've done a couple shows. Yeah, in the last year, mostly just solo piano and vocal, just kind of, fleshing out the songs essentially and getting them ready for the album. I am going to be putting together a show for my album release where I'll have a full band, and it'll be the first time that I'll play these songs, with a full band, sort of trying to present them like they are, on the album. So I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be kind of the next step in this journey, is taking the songs out of just me and the piano.
Yeah, like you gotta like mention that there is a lot of work, like to planning release of the single. I mean, the album probably is ready now, but it's not ready probably like with the packaging,
right,
with and all the stuff. No? And you're probably putting out together like a strategy, like a release strategy. So the single is gonna come out. The next one
about a month, March 6th.
March 6th, okay. So we have a date for the next one, no?
Yes.
But then you have to prepare the show for the band. So it's a lot of like, it's a lot of work, and it's it's good. It's good to work for your idea, like to make it like the vision, work for your vision.
Yes, absolutely. As you well know, since you are quite the working musician here in San Francisco.
Yeah, I volunteer. I'm a big volunteering guy. Yeah. Yeah. I have a lot of passion and patience.
Yes.
So they sound very.
It's
similar.
Wonderful what you do.
Yeah. Thank you. We're gonna hit episode 200 next week.
That's right.
This is episode 199. Yeah, 200. I feel like 200.
That's amazing. Congratulations on that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's a wonderful thing that you're doing for local artists. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for being here also.
Yeah.
You want to play another song on the piano? Or
sure.
You're going to make me blush. So, let's switch topic. Let's go to another
quick.
one. Yeah, right.
Quick. I do this with my staff at the music school, and they get really mad when I do that. Which I think it's good to thank people.
Of course.
Okay, so, you mentioned Message in a Bottle. I don't know if you knew that I was going to play that song.
Yeah? Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I just heard that yesterday you're a big fan of Sting.
I am.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And he's playing a theater play at the Golden Gate.
I bought tickets yesterday.
All right, yeah,
I plan to figure out how to meet him. I think it's time.
Okay, it's time. Now
it's time.
So, Sting, if you're listening, I know you're listening. You usually do. We're gonna meet Sarah. Okay, get ready in San Francisco.
Yeah. I think it's time.
I know you're listening. I know you're listening. I know you do yoga and listen to Espresso Sesh.
Yeah, exactly.
It's I think it's 10 p.m. In England right now, but probably it's not gonna be there.
Who knows where he
is? He knows where we are.
He does.
So so you're gonna play a cover for us.
Yeah, I'm gonna play a cover.
All right, Message in a Bottle.
Message in a Bottle.
All right,
This is. I mean, I've loved Sting since I was very young. Talk about a songwriter. I mean, I've listened to interviews with him. There's a really great podcast called Soda Jerker, and they interview songwriters, and there's an incredible interview that they did with him. And he talks in more depth about his songwriting process. And I just think he has been able to write songs for so long in all genres. He's written a musical, and he's starring in his own musical, which is very cool. I'm excited to check that out. But I just really admire him in a lot of ways. So Yeah, I was kind of just playing around with this song, and I just kept digging in deeper and deeper with this arrangement, like just, taking his bass lines and putting them in the piano part. And then it just kind of developed over time into what's become just like my favorite cover to do. So I thought I'd share it today.
Please.
Yes.
Just one thing. Do you have the volume all the way up?
No, it's about halfway.
Put it all the way up, please.
Okay.
Yeah, because there is a little hum coming from that. Okay, better now. Cool. Okay, you're listening to BFF.fm Espresso Sesh. Ciara McAllister in the house right now. About to perform live. Message in a bottle. Again, all this guy for you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Just a castaway, an island lost at sea. Oh, another lonely day with no one here but me. Oh, more loneliness than any man could bear. Rescue me before I fall into despair. Oh, I'll send an SOS to the world. I'll send an SOS to the world. I hope that someone gets I hope that someone gets I hope that someone gets my message in a bottle, yeah. Message in a bottle, yeah. A year has passed since I wrote my note. I should have known this right from the start. Only hope can keep me together. Love can mend your life, but love can break your heart. I'll send an SOS to the world. I'll send an SOS to the world. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets my message in a bottle, yeah. Message in a bottle, yeah. Woke up this morning, I don't believe what I saw. 100 billion bottles washed up on the shore. Seems I'm not alone in being alone. 100 billion castaways looking for a home. And I'll send an SOS to the world. I'll send an SOS to the world. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets my message in a bottle, yeah. Message in a bottle, yeah.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Ciara McAllister, live BFF.fm. Message in a bottle.
Yes.
Intimate, like I said this adjective before, but nice,
Yeah.
stripped down, okay? Stripped down version.
Yeah.
I can hold this if you want to drink some water.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, better. I always ask my guests about the influence, no? And it's even better if they perform it.
Right.
Like the influence.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful song. I know when you say like a million bottles washed up ashore.
Yes.
I'm having this picture of like pollution, no, like plastic bottle, like.
Oof.
But it's another story,
That is another story.
There is another story. We try to do our best every day to protect this planet, like and keep it like a beautiful place as it's supposed to be.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I just spent some time on a beautiful island in Indonesia, and that was very much in my awareness.
It was a nice moment to
Yes, remember that we need to do that more. And what's interesting about this song actually is these lyrics like have really come to life for me as I've been working on this song. Because there's just like there's many layers to these lyrics, I think. And so certainly the desert island sort of cry for someone to rescue them, rescue him, not just the physical story of it, but from an emotional place, just that cry out for, is anybody listening? Only hope can keep me together. It's sort of really, I didn't necessarily go into learning this cover with anything other, just a musical interest in it. But as I kind of really have dug into it, those lyrics have started to mean more and more and sort of kind of go along with that idea of hope that has been such a theme for me. So I feel like it's just become like a really special song
It's
for me.
the trait d'union, no? Is the hope, the message. It's like the thin line that connects like the story behind the album, no?
Yeah.
So it's it's the same. I'm having Italian words in my mind right now. I cannot
what is
use,
it?
minimum comune denominatore. It's like a
Oh.
minimum common denominator. It's like
yes.
something that is present in a song and like kind of like it's part of the fabric, part of the texture, of the album.
Yes. And I think it's interesting that was not something I went into the album to write that as a theme, but these are the places where I think the creative inspiration sort of at times has a bigger purpose or a bigger idea for us, and if we're open to it, we get to just sort of try to communicate that, essentially, is how I try to see it. So I'm grateful that has become sort of the theme for me, because it's meant a lot to my life, for sure.
Yeah, and it's good also that you take it out and you put it out, like you write it down in a song structure, because like they say, like blues, no, you are, I guess you are very into blues, like I can tell like how you play, no, like this was something that is, besides the color blue, like the genre, no?
Right.
So it was a way to sing away the pain, no?
Oh,
so
yes.
the lament was like a way to like get over it, like singing out of it, no? So probably this is a message that probably make you feel better when you sing the song, when you listen to the song, no?
Yeah, for sure.
And then come a question to my mind about like your songwriting process, no? So do you start with some? Do you have like idea in mind and you start writing, or you start with a melody and then? How is the process going? Like, if you can tell us briefly.
Yeah. I think it's, of course it's different for every song, and there's never a real blueprint, but I do journal a lot. I always have a journal with me, and so often, whatever I'm journaling, which is just often me processing my life, there'll be little ideas that will just jump out as potential lyrics or songs, and I usually like circle them and put a little like music note next to them as a way to just be able to quickly glance back and say, this is all my brain dump that no one ever needs to read again, and then this is maybe an idea for a lyric. And then usually when I go to the piano, I usually always get the piano part first. It's very rare for me to just have a melody and then chase chords to put to a melody. I usually always find the chords and have some sort of an idea of a melody on the piano, and then slowly, maybe a lyric will come or like a chorus melody will come, and then once I have an idea that seems to be sticking, I'll just kind of develop the song around it.
And talking about developing the song, so it's your like you mentioned before, no? It's you're going for the songwriter structure. So you like kind of like see the song, you arrange it to put like parts in it, variation, bridge, chorus, and you put it all together because you have the tool, the music tool. No?
Yeah, I try to be open to. I mean, there are times where there's just something that's there that's not necessarily wanting to be forced. Like there is a song on the album that's the first track called Musings that is not at all song form, and it's a lot more just outside of normal structure. And so there are songs that, I let them go where they want to go. But again, for this album, I really did try to create songs.
Okay. No, because I'm referring for what I heard. I heard 3 songs. So, yeah. You wanna play one song from the album?
Sure.
Like recorded song?
Sure.
And or you wanna just to give this word an example, no? So you can,
Okay. Another little teaser.
Another teaser. Yeah, we don't have to play the whole thing.
I know. It's like
or you wanna play live another song from the album.
Well, we could do that too.
Yeah, it's up to you. Like we are.
We got 5 minutes or so.
No. We have time. So.
Okay, we have time.
Yeah.
Well, I was planning on doing Fairy Tale live, which I know we've already heard it, the recorded version, but I'd be happy to share that one.
Please, there is enough distance between the 2 songs. That we can do it again.
we'll bring it. We'll bring it home.
Bring
it home with Fairy Tale.
Yeah. Fairy Tale live.
Okay.
Sounds great. You listen to BFF.FM Espresso Sesh with Nino Msk every Tuesday. Ciara McAllister is live here performing. It's here live performing Fairy Tale for us. The piano is here. All right. Ciara McAllister, Fairy Tale.
I used to read writing on the wall. I used to find the meaning in it all. I used to dream in stories. I used to dream in songs. I'd paint pictures in starlight, only erased by the dawn. But little girls' dreams don't mean what they seem when that last spot of sun turns to shade. And is there any relief for those who still believe something good's gonna come their way? Oh, let's not let go of the fairy tale. Let's not believe it's all gone to hell. 'Cause darkness will come and we'll fall and we'll fail, but light will prevail if we just don't let go of the fairy tale. We grow older, the light starts to fade. We stay in the shadows that swallow our faith.
Ciara McAllister, Fairy Tale Live, BFF.fm. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice moment. Like we say, goosebumps. You say goosebumps. No?
Yes.
All right. Okay, it's 3 p.m. We are here live from the Mission Studio, BFF.fm, with Ciara McAllister presenting her upcoming album, To Shimmering Light.
Yes.
It's a concept album and is something that we don't hear that often these days.
Yes.
Made by with like a proud, made for. Made,
All right.
Is it working?
Yep. Looks like it.
Yeah. All right. There is Heather Pierce Musco that is watching. I'll give a shout.
Heather
Yeah.
Pierce Musco.
Yeah, it's a familiar last name.
I've
It's
heard
a
of
very
her.
familiar last name. Hello.
We've heard of her.
Okay. It's good that also you want to keep kind of like an aura of secrets on the song of the album, no?
Mhm.
And yeah, because like we already give a couple of teasers.
We
no?
did. We did.
So just keep it like the how you say keep it the the
The intrigue.
intrigue,
The-
yeah,
yeah.
the suspense,
The
you
suspense,
know,
yeah.
yeah, give the okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
I want to check out more.
Yeah.
To check out more, for example, you can connect to
Yeah.
singer-songwriter.com.
Yep. The best way would
The
be.
best way, we got actually this
There it
nice
is.
special effects.
The
title-
high-tech
the high-tech titles. They're gonna go. By the way, Espresso Sesh is episode 199,
episode.
and we are running out of paper in our special effects. So I should start a crowdfunding campaign to get the new special
notebook.
effect, or I can get one.
I'll put in $1 for your new notebook.
Chip in $1, please.
Yeah.
With the nice.
Do you have all 199 in this notebook?
Yeah, I got all
of your guests?
all the guests.
Amazing.
Yeah. From This
I love it.
We can bring randomly, open randomly. We got Sonamo here, randomly. We got Cello Joe, open randomly. We have the Genie, open
Amazing.
randomly. There's the Clarion. Bo was here as well.
Bo Noise, there he is. All local, San
all
Francisco.
the local, local and visiting,
Local and
and
visiting, yes.
another special effect. This is the title of the special. It's the original one from 4 years ago. A little wore out, but it's still going.
Perfect.
No, and I don't need a crowdfunder for this one. In the meantime,
It's awesome.
if you want to donate to BFF.fm, we are a listener support. Real like thing. So we are here with a lot of patience and a lot of passion.
Yeah.
Just like doing a little community radio for the city, for the community, for the area, and like every help is greatly accepted and appreciated.
Yes.
Appreciated.
Yes. And we appreciate what
yep.
you're doing.
What are we gonna do? Let's talk about the influence. If there is something that you wanna play, some song, recorded song,
Mm-hmm.
or you wanna play another song live. We're playing by ear here.
We are.
So
Well,
we're gonna stay on like 10 more minutes
Okay.
because unfortunately I need to go to work. I wish this would be my job and I didn't have to go to work. But you can make it happen probably with some donation if you want, or if you don't, I keep going work. No worries. We gotta do what we gotta do. No. So
Well-
what do you say, Sarah?
okay. Well, we can talk about some influences.
Yeah.
Sure.
We got the Sting, of course.
We got Sting. It's interesting. I get compared a lot to, female pianists, piano singer-songwriters. So, there's Carole King. There's, I've gotten all kinds of things. Amy Mann, Fiona Apple, Regina Spektor, Stevie Nicks, which is a wonderful one. Christine McVie, who's actually the piano player. And I love all those women so much. I have so much inspiration, like so much gratitude for what they've done for women in music. And I absolutely gained inspiration and strength. I think motivation from those types of artists. And I do listen to them and love them. But for this album, you know, I kind of like will listen to one type of track or one artist, and just there'll be one specific thing that really grabs me. So maybe it's a production idea. Maybe it's a chord progression, something where there's just a harmony that really intrigues me because it's a little bit unusual. And I try to always kind of explore different types of progressions or lyric ideas that I find really inspiring. So I can't say that there's necessarily a through line of like my inspirations on the album, but rather like each individual track kind of has one particular idea that I sort of pulled from different artists. So for instance, Radiohead is one of my favorite bands, and there's a track where there was just kind of a production idea that I got that was inspired by their song Videotape on their album In Rainbows. And there's also a piece on the album that has a choir. I brought in an 8-piece choir and wrote choral parts. Very much inspired by Hozier and his most recent, well, both of his albums, but he's an artist that I really love his songwriting, really love how he uses vocals really heavily. So there's some examples of that on the album. Lots of harmonies on the album. And even some old classics like Tom Waits. There's a song on the album called Please Tell Me Why that kind of pulls from that sort of classic older Tom Waits type of feel.
It kind of stomp as the Tom Waits music.
Yeah. So the like from the album Closing Time, that sort of just very, again, sort of just real classic songwriting sounds. So I think there's a variety of all of those on the album. And like I said, each song is in some ways its own songwriting exercise inspired by someone who I love, and kind of develops that way. So I don't know if you want to play something or...
I would love to, yeah. Let's play one of these.
Okay.
Pick one that you particularly want to share with us.
Okay.
And you know, it's because it's so we are getting to know you in this radio episode. So we're gonna get to know you better if we know what you are inspired from. No.
Okay. Well.
And you know, we can plug actually right here. We can plug right here. Whenever you're ready. And if you wanna briefly introduce, please, your selection would be awesome. And you're listening to BFF.FM Espresso Sesh every Tuesday from 2 to 4 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay, I'm going to just veer in a totally different direction from everything I just said.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's the good of music, because, you know, like,
just
it's
going,
endless possibilities.
Yeah. So one thing that's been really important to me through all of my influences is piano, obviously. So one thing that just has always thrilled me is when piano is weaved into pop music, rock and roll, whatever it is, and it's used in a different way, but it's there. It's kind of, either it's a highlight or it's the main instrument.
That's a great example, yeah?
Yeah, so this is a Jack White tune, who's also one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
And
I was wondering why I didn't mention it yet.
I know. Oh, my gosh, Jack, I'm sorry.
I know you're listening too, but
I know.
Don't be mad.
Gosh, I know. Well, I was saving the best for last. But he often has piano on his songs, but this album, Blunderbuss, was a huge influence of mine several years back. This song, there's just this piano riff in this song that kind of pops out that the first time I heard it, I think my head exploded. And I just thought it was so brilliant the way he just weaves this really classical sounding kind of piano riff into this heavier rock song. And my song Musings, which again is the first track on the album, has something similar to this. It's not a heavy rock song, but has kind of a riff that
was influenced by
floats in and out. So this is Weep Themselves to Sleep on Blunderbuss, Jack White.
Themselves to Sleep, Jack White, as a influence, like you say, Ciara, you say that the use of the piano into rock music, keep it as it is, or keep it as or like filter it, like the effects.
Yeah.
Did you keep in your album the piano as it is, or you were playing with it with sound wise?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah. Lots of synths. There's Wurlitzers, Rhodes. There's all kinds of synths, analog synths. There's B3 organ, grand piano, upright piano. Lots of keyboard.
Lots of keys. Lots of kind of keys.
Which was really fun to play with at Tiny Telephone because they have
Yeah.
all kinds of lovely instruments.
It's like a
playground.
It's like a wonderful playground. It's like Disneyland.
Yeah, it really
for
is.
musician.
Yes.
You know, like wow, all the vintage things.
Yes.
Too bad the San Francisco one is gonna go, but anyway.
It's a beautiful thing that John created for musicians for a long time. I think 30 years.
Yeah,
I want to say.
Yeah, more than 20.
More than 20 years. So.
Anyway.
Yes, it's.
You gotta resist here in San Francisco. What you gonna do here? Resist, and in that times make art.
Make art.
Yeah,
correct.
make art, and to the Shimmering Light.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Ciara, for being here. You have a single release. Next single release.
Yes.
It's coming
March 6th.
March 6th.
Off the hook.
Off the hook, and a little hook if you subscribe.
Little hook if you sign up for my newsletter, singer-mcallister.com. You'll get that track earlier. For download.
Yeah. And thank you for being here. Best of luck for your release.
Thank you.
Check it out. The Fairy Tales is out right now.
Yes.
Ciara McAllister, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to tuning in BFF.fm. Next week is going to be the episode 200.
Yes.
200.
Amazing.
Stay tuned on BFF.fm. Astral Projection Radio Hour is coming at 4 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you,
Sarah.
Thank you, Nino. It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you. Let's close the show with another song. You have another? Let's go. Let's wait. This. You were not expecting this. Let's close the show with some other songs. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. BFF.fm. If you can donate, we always appreciate. See you next week, same time, same station. Thank you for tuning in on the video. Thank you for watching on the video as well. Ciao. I'll see you next